Well, let's start with the big story of the day. India's election process will now be taught to class 9 students through new NCERT social science textbook. We're learning that the book explains how the Election Commission of India works, how voter lists are updated through S.I.R, and how the system ensures that eligible citizens can vote while removing incorrect entries. It also introduces students to EVMs, VVPATs, and the Model Code of Conduct, and also on voter awareness program. So a new lesson on India's election process has been added to the NCERT Class 9 social science textbook. The chapter explains how the Election Commission of India manages the elections, manages voter records, and works to ensure transparency in the democratic process. It also describes special intensive revision, that is S.I.R, as a method to verify electoral roll and make sure no eligible voter is left out as well. So that's a big step that has been taken by cbse and NCERT as well. Let me get you more details on this and go across to my colleague Kritika for more. Kritika, explain to us, how does the book explain the role of Election Commission of India in conducting the free and fair elections?
Right, Akansha. So firstly, the book mentions that the electoral process in India itself is unparalleled, and that the Election Commission is working to ensure that these elections are conducted in a fair manner. And in fact, the role of the ECI is also mentioned in managing electoral rolls, conducting elections, as well as ensuring democratic participation. And a new feature this year is, of course, the discussion on special intensive revision, which the book currently describes it as a method used to update, verify, and correct electoral rules. So this is what the book says. And as you were rightly pointing out as well, the other aspects of the election, as well as that of Election Commission, including the EVMs, discussions on VVPAT, as well as the Model Code of Conduct, has also been featured as alongside awareness programs that ECI also conducts. There is also an activity which has been given to students about how coalition governments have worked. So that is also an interesting impact aspect that has been added to the book. Now, according to the S.I.R also ensures no eligible voter is left out, and that no ineligible person is included in the voter list. So this sort of a clarification has also come in from the part of NCERT as far as this new Class 9 social science textbook is concerned. Yes, Akansha.
All right. So the new NCERT chapter aims to help young citizens understand how India's democracy functions and how every vote matters. Listen in to what the Bharatiya Janata Party has to say on this.
This move will burn the opposition even more. Apparently, the NCERT textbooks of social science have included a chapter on ECI, praised ECI for the conduct of S.I.R, which it calls unparalleled. Well, actually, we all must hail constitutional bodies like Election Commission, like Judiciary, especially when they are doing a yeoman service, a great service for the cause of democracy. They are targeting Election Commission, S.I.R and EVMs whenever they are losing. This shows that they also know EVM S.I.R is bahana, apne aap ko bachana, alibi banana, Election Commission par nishana.
So India's election process will now be taught to Class 9 students through the new NCERT social science textbook is what we're learning. Let me once again go back to my colleague Kritika on this. Kritika, take us through the reactions that are coming in, because S.I.R process in itself got a lot of backlash from the opposition parties. What are they saying on this?
Absolutely, Akansha. At no point were the opposition parties, in fact, convinced with the conduct of the S.I.R. We saw how it happened in Bihar as well as in Tamil Nadu and other states as well. The activity will begin in Delhi from Monday as well, is what we are understanding. But so far as the entire conduct is concerned, remember how TMC is continuing to say that it is because of the S.I.R, the deletions, the unfair deletions is what they are asserting, is how the BJP has been able to, what they say, orchestrate a stealing of elections from their hands. So this is obviously the stance of the political opposition political parties in specific, whether it is Congress or the TMC, the DMK, even the left parties have been
All right.
rather very vocal in their opposition towards the S.I.R. and for it
All right, so it remains to be seen how the opposition parties actually react to this. Stay on with us, Kritika. I'll come back to you once again. Let me go across to R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. A new lesson on India's election process has been added to the NCERT Class 9 social science textbook. So children will be taught about the election process, S.I.R, EVMs, VVPATs, etc. Do you think this is important? Your take on this?
देखिए, मैं तो इतनी ही बात कहना चाहता हूं कि पेपर लीक ये सरकार के रूप में केंद्र सरकार और बीजेपी की राज्य सरकारें जाने जाती हैं। देश में सबसे बड़ा संकट है कि यूथ कोई भी एग्जाम देता है तो पेपर लीक हो जाता है, उसमें तमाम बच्चों ने आत्महत्याएं कर ली। आज भी देश में जितनी भी बड़ी सर्विसेज के एग्जाम होते हैं उसमें भी यूपीएससी के साथ भी यही हो रहा है, पीसीएस में भी पेपर लीक हो रहे हैं। तो सवाल ये है कि सबसे पहले चीन में कैसे 1-1 करोड़ बच्चे अपीयर होते हैं, वहां पेपर लीक नहीं होता। इस पर धर्मेंद्र प्रधान को काम करना चाहिए था। और मैं तो धर्मेंद्र प्रधान की शिक्षा के बारे में भी अवगत हूं अच्छी तरह से। और ये सब काम छोड़ के जिस तरह से वो एनसीईआरटी में आपातकाल इमरजेंसी का एक चैप्टर बढ़ा रहे हैं। हेलो,
कंटिन्यू सर प्लीज।
ये इमरजेंसी का एक चैप्टर बढ़ा रहे हैं, उसके बाद एफआईआर लेकर आ रहे हैं, उसके बाद सर को भी लेके आएंगे और तमाम चीजों को जोड़ने का जो काम कर रहे हैं। भाई, आपकी बहुमत की सरकार है, आप इस तरह के फैसले कर सकते हैं, लेकिन उससे देश को क्या फायदा होने वाला? जिस तरह की शिक्षा व्यवस्था जियाउल हक ने पाकिस्तान में बदली, आज उसका खामियाजा पाकिस्तान भुगत रहा। वहां की अर्थव्यवस्था चौपट हो गई, शिक्षा व्यवस्था सबसे पहले चौपट हुई। तो कहावत है कि जिस देश को बर्बाद करना हो उस देश की शिक्षा व्यवस्था को बर्बाद कर दीजिए। तो शिक्षा व्यवस्था का आलम यह है कि ये सरकार जो दुनिया के 500 टॉप यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं उसमें भारत का कोई विश्वविद्यालय नहीं आता, न एम्स आता, न हमारे आईआईटीज आते, न आईएम्स आते। उस पर इनका फोकस नहीं है। फोकस ये है कि कैसे हम जाति और धर्म के आधार पर हम विभाजन की नीति अपनाएं। इसी पर बीजेपी काम करी। मैं समझता हूं कि बीजेपी इस सब पर पुनर्विचार करे और देश में पेपर न लीक हो, अच्छे से एग्जाम हो, इसकी पहली प्राथमिकता केंद्र सरकार को रखनी चाहिए।
All right, so the Samajwadi Party is saying that the new lesson on India's election process should not be taught to children. Thank you so much for connecting with us. Let me also go across to Manav Jaiswal of Trinamool Congress. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. We spoke to Samajwadi Party and they said that that children should not be taught about the election process, S.I.R process as well. Your take on this decision that has been taken by NCERT?
See, NCERT has become a toolkit for the BJP. Eventually, they should definitely mention that they have defranchised 30 lakh genuine people under this S.I.R. The Election Commission should teach the nation, to the country, that how they have manipulated the election process to support BJP. This is the black day of the Indian education system, where you have seen how NEET has been, NT has failed the NEET examinations. You have seen how the education minister is so stubborn and is sticking to his own chair. And now they have come up with the S.I.R education. You're bringing S.I.R to the education system. You have to make sure to the people of the country where you have said that you have to say that 30 lakh people had been defranchised only because of their malpractices, because they didn't have the timeline. They have actually eroded the voting rights of the genuine people of the country. They are looting the votes. So this election commission is actually trying and tested model of the BJP. The toolkit of the BJP will fail in 2029, and India will have its own freedom of press, its own freedom of voting rights, its own freedom of the citizens.
All right, so TMC, they're saying that this is a black day for the education system. Thank you so much, Mr. Jaiswal, for connecting with us and putting that into perspective. A new lesson on India's election process has been added to the NCERT Class 9 social science textbook. The chapter explains how the Election Commission manages the elections, maintains the voter records and works to ensure transparency in the democratic process. But the opposition parties are saying that this should not be taught. In fact, calling this a black black day for the education system. With this, a very short break. More news and updates for the other side. But before we take the break, we are joined by R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. So how do you see this big step that has been taken by the NCERT, a new lesson on India's election process that has been added to the Class 9 social science textbook?
Well, it's a very welcome step. It's making the children at the 9th standard aware of the constitutional functions, and then how, when they grow up to 18 years of age, how important it is, and then how important it is for democracy to have the clean and clear voter list. So it's very welcome, and it will help the children understand the democracy better.
All right, sir, but the opposition party, they are saying, for example, Samajwadi Party and TNC, they are saying that this is a black day for the education system. What do you have to say on that?
Well, they have a target for a Muslim vote, nothing beyond that, and that they keep doing it again and again to appeal certain vote banks. It won't help. The fact is that this is a constitutional function held by the constitutional body, Election Commission, and has been approved and has been given clean chit by the Supreme Court also. So let the children be aware how the democracy is strengthened. That's very important, and the Election Commission is part of the electoral process and having the healthy democracy.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and putting that into perspective. With this, a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.